Hello, and welcome to Beaumaris Theatre's monologue series. My name is Monica Greenwood, and I'm very privileged to have been invited to be part of this series. Today, I'd like to bring you a monologue from the play 84 Charing Cross Road, which many of you would be familiar with. For those who aren't familiar with it, the story centres on Helene Hanff, who is a New York scriptwriter and has a very special love for antique books. She develops a correspondence relationship with an antique bookshop called Marks & Co, based at 84 Charing Cross Road in London. And while she's never visited the store herself, she develops a very strong connection with the people who work there, and in particular, the bookshop manager, Frank. I was lucky enough to be part of a production that was staged by Peridot Theatre in 2018 and directed by Horry Leake. And the picture you see behind me is actually a photo from that set. I was in fact the stage manager for that production, but also had the cameo role of Maxine. Maxine is Helene Hanff's closest friend. She's an actress who has the opportunity to go to London, and this was set in the early 50s or so at this particular point in the play. So she goes to London to perform in a play and has the opportunity to go and visit the Marks & Co bookstore. This monologue describes Maxine's experience of visiting the bookshop. And she sends a letter back to Helene describing in a lot of detail the store, the sounds, the sights and the smells, which is part of the reason I wanted to choose this particular monologue for you. So without further ado, I'd like to present to you the monologue of Maxine from 84 Charing Cross Road. Dear heart, it is the loveliest old shop, straight out of Dickens. You would go absolutely out of your mind about it. There are stalls outside, and I stopped and leafed through a few things just to establish myself as a browser before wandering in. It's dim inside. You smell the shop before you see it. It's a lovely smell, and I can't articulate easily, but it combines must and dust, and old age, and floors of wood and walls of wood. Towards the back of the shop, at the left, there's a desk with a work lamp on it. A man was sitting there. He was about 50 with a Hogarth nose. He looked up and said, "Good afternoon," in a North Country accent. I said, "I just wanted to browse," and he said, "Please do." The shelves go on forever. They go up to the ceiling, and they're very old and grey, like old oak that has absorbed so much dust over the years they are no longer their true colour. There's a print section, Cruikshank, Rackham and Spy, and all those old, wonderful English caricaturists and illustrators that I'm not smart enough to know a lot about. And there are some lovely old illustrated magazines. I stayed for about half an hour, hoping your Frank or one of the girls would show up, but it was about 1-ish when I went in, and I gather they were all out to lunch, and I couldn't stay any longer. As you'll see, the notices for our play were not sensational, but we're told they're good enough to assure us a few months' run. So, yesterday, I went apartment hunting and found a nice little bed-sitter in Knightsbridge. I don't have the address here. I'll send it, or you could call my mother. We have no food problems. We eat in restaurants and hotels, and all the best places, like Claridge's, get all the roast beef and chops that they want. The prices are astronomical, but the exchange rate is so good that we can afford it. Of course, if I were English, I would loathe us, instead of which they are absolutely wonderful to us. We're invited to everybody's home and everybody's club. The only thing we can't get is sugar or sweets in any form, for which I personally thank God. I intend to lose pounds over here. Write me. Love, Maxine. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching.